So it's like.
Do you have extended family that are close to your heart? People you love, cousins, friends of the family?
I do, but kwanza, before I came out, my relatives were the biggest source of my fear. Because, relatives see you from a young age, and then if you're this child who has been the perfect child, good grades, all these other things, you're so scared of stepping out of that definition everyone has for you. And by declaring you are queer, and these same people are highly religious, of course it's gonna be talk of town, and mama, it won't be an easy thing for them to handle. So when it comes to my relatives, I do have relatives and I love them, but we're not that close. And
are you going to invite them for the wedding?
You're putting me on the spot. No one homophobic is gonna be at my wedding, I'll just say that. So whether it's family, whether it's friends, of course.
Sometimes it's very difficult to know who is homophobic.
Okay, that's true, but
what would be your definition of homophobic?
My definition of homophobic would be someone who insults me for being queer, or someone who does not actively support me. And support can be in so many different ways. Is it when you're in a room and people are talking shit about me, are you there telling them, by the way, kila mtu ako na maisha yake na mwachane na Michelle? Ama are you the person telling them, hey, by the way, it's not right, you know. And then when you're coming to me, you want to act like you accept me. Support can also look like you offering me a listening ear, you just being curious, by the way, I don't understand this, Ebu tell me more, I really want to understand. And that doesn't make you, the fact that you're gay doesn't make me hate you. It's just a topic I don't understand, and I wouldn't want to lose my relationship with you because I don't understand it. So let me know what this is all about, That's okay. Because the thing with being queer, people accepting you, first of all, being accepted is not important for everyone, or maybe it's only important for specific people. My mom accepting me doesn't have the same importance as a stranger on the internet accepting me, but at the same time, you have to recognize that it's up to someone to decide whether they'll accept you, and also just learning not to place your value as a human being and what you deserve out of life based on people's opinions and how they judge others according to what they believe in. To just free yourself from that burden, because it is a burden.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a loving person?
Yes, I do. I consider myself a loving person. I think maybe people who have met me on the wrong side don't consider me as such. But I do consider myself a loving person. Yeah.
In your loneliness, quote unquote, when you're alone, you want the world to just accept you as you are, love you the way you are. Is it a source of frustration that sometimes the world doesn't want to extend an arm of love around your shoulders?
I think the only source of frustration of that for me is the fact that people will go out of their way to harm you for being different from them. Not necessarily that they don't accept me, So I've had to unpack that need for being accepted by people, It would be nice, sure, but probably it's not going to happen, or maybe not in this lifetime, and however it goes, I need to be able to be okay with myself. That's the most important part.
Are you okay with yourself?
I am. Yeah. And I accept myself fully, radically. I accept myself.
How long has the journey to accepting yourself been?
Hey, that's been hard. I can say it's been many, many years. Even looking back in my primary school days, just the fact that you can sense like, hey, I'm not like everyone else, that already gives you a feeling of many others, you know?
Yeah.
And this thing that I have not heard anyone else talking about, I can't be the first person talking about this, you know? So from an early age to my teenagehood to my now adulthood, I can say I really, really came to accept myself last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like fully and unapologetically. You know, like I'm not negotiating my sexuality with people. I'm not here telling people, oh, love me. It doesn't matter that I'm gay. You know, like I'm not having those conversations. I'm not giving people power to accept me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, I don't know whether you've heard about it. So there is an agenda to convert the rest of the world. You know, there is money has been poured into Africa, and you know, there's money everywhere. These people, there's something going on here. America imemwaga pesa Kenya, Europe, everybody, the big corporations, Amazon, Apple, you know, they are having when Apple is doing their when they are starting when they are what is the word? When they are launching their products, they are behind a huge rainbow. These people took our rainbow, snatched our rainbow from us.
Wait, who owned the rainbow? Who did the rainbow belong to? You know?
Do you have you heard that?
First of all, I don't believe there's an agenda. In a sense of, I don't believe there's people out here giving others money to turn gay, you know. I see where the need for funding comes in, because just by the fact that you're a queer person, and most especially the people who you can easily guess that they're queer, you can judge by presentation. Often like trans people, masculine presenting women, you know, those ones are usually, they face more discrimination than, you know, someone who looks like me, and you can't tell if I'm gay or not, you know. So the need for funding comes in whereby sometimes even when it comes to accessing health services, do you know some people are shunned from accessing like health services just because the doctor is homophobic, and they're like, you know, they're treating you like, exactly. So like, I need, as you know, ukona ugonjwa ABCD, and you know, so you're turned away. And of course, everyone deserves access to healthcare. So if that is something a lot of people in this community is going through, of course, there's going to be other people who have progressed more that are willing to come in and help and fit the needs that people are having in those communities, right? And I think that's where the misconception comes from, that people are being paid to be gay. And if people are being paid to be gay, please pay me. Pay me fast, please.
You won't put in that funding, nothing.
No. No, I'm just out here being myself.
So now we have that myth is out of the window.
Yeah.
It was really nice meeting and chatting with you, Michelle.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you for having me. This was nice. And again, I commend you for just being curious and giving us a space to just talk about these things instead of acting like queer people don't exist.
Yeah. They're our sisters and our brothers and our daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those things, Michelle, are very difficult to understand sometimes. And the question I asked you whether you think people are born lesbian, how does God look down upon? For Christians, how does God look down upon two men having sex with each other? What are you thinking? And I think sometimes people want to get into the mind of God and say that God must be thinking like this. And therefore, I have to think like God.
Exactly.
I hate it.
And they want to take it a step further and punish you or harm you for not thinking like the way they think, which is very, very... I don't know the word for it, but feeling so important that you feel entitled to harming someone for having different beliefs from yours that do not harm you, that are between consenting people, that's very self-righteous.
Too self-righteous.
That's very self-righteous.
Vile jamaa wa Equatorial Guinea labda anakama anasema, I don't like these people.
Imagine. Meanwhile, look at what he's doing. And he's here judging a gay person who, by the way, probably is loyal to their partner. You see, it's it's very weird.
The memes of cinema are crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, people of the internet. That was Dialogues with Jagero and Michelle. Or Mishi.
Yeah, Michelle, Mishi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. So I like having this kind of conversations. The reason why I started Dialogues with Jagero is to actually dialogue. And sometimes there are things I don't understand, there are things I understand, there are, and I think sometimes my beliefs are not important on this table. The stories are important, the dialogue is important, getting to know what the person is saying, you know. So until another episode, bye for now.